This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So in the last session, we have discussed about the page redirection, how to redirect the user from one page to another page upon click on a button control. Either it may be to the next page or it may be to the previous page. How the user can navigate the pages from source page to target page, and how the user can go back to the previous page upon click on the back button or the previous button. So how to redirect the users by using the page reference class we have discussed. And along with that, upon redirecting the user from one page to another page, we can supply some input values also. We can pass some parameters also, okay, along with the page reference class upon redirecting the user from one page to another page. Then how to pass the parameters upon redirection we have discussed, and how can we pass one parameter, how can we pass multiple parameters by separating the parameters with the help of ampersand symbol we have discussed. And then once we are reaching to the target page, how to capture those values from the URL, okay, we have discussed by using apex pages dot current page method. By using that current page method, we can refer the current page which we are in right now. In that page, we can go to the URL. In that URL, whatever the parameters are available, we can collect those parameters. From those parameters, we can get the value of a specific parameter by passing the key. By passing the parameter name, we can get that respective value by using that get method. So now let's see practically today by using a small use case. Okay, how can we use this query string in order to pass the value from one page to another page? Now let's see practically here. Okay, so let me explain a small use case. Now, for example, assume that I'm having the requirement like this. I'm having a requirement like this. So I'm having a page which is used to search for some records. Okay, which is used to search for some records. It may be lead records, it may be account records, whatever, anything. I would like to search for some records by passing some input parameters. It depends upon the characters which I have supplied. Based on those input characters, I would like to fetch the matching records from that object. For example, I'm searching for some account records, okay, based on some input characters. I'm having a search text box. In this text box, the user has to enter some characters. Whatever the characters the user has entered, okay, when the user click on that search account button, it has to search for that matching account records I would like to represent inside my tabular format. So this is the search functionality which we have implemented previously here. Okay, now my requirement is I don't want to search, I don't want to display the data in the same table. So in the same page, I want to split this functionality to two pages. Okay, I want to split this functionality to two pages. Like for example, I would like to have a Visual Force page. I would like to have a Visual Force page. So this is a Visual Force page that we have right now, which is a search accounts page. Inside this page, I would like to place one text box to be used to enter the input values based on which the user wants to search for the content. So I am going to be collecting this data here up to this part. I'm placing this information inside this. I'm placing this information inside this. So now here I'm having a visual first page. Inside this visual first page, I'm having a such a text box. Okay, I'm having a such a text box where the user will enter some account record name, some small characters. It may be 1 character, 2 characters, 10 characters, whatever, or the complete account name also, whatever. So whatever the characters the user has entered inside my text box, upon click on this search accounts button, I want to search for the record based on these characters, and those records I want to represent inside my table. To represent the records inside the table, okay, I would like to use a separate page. Now this result I don't want to display in the same page. This result I want to show in a different page. I want to display those results inside a separate page. So now here I'm having one more separate page here. I'm having a separate page. So this is my visual first page I'm having. Here I would like to represent that information. Now my page name is search results page. Here I would like to indicate that number of records has been written as a result. I want to indicate search results count. I want to show the count of records also. Okay. So now these are the 2 pages that I'm having right now. Okay, these are the 2 pages I'm having right now. I'm having the page 1 search accounts page, second one search results page. In the search accounts page, the user will enter some characters based on which he would like to search for the content. And whatever the matching records are available, those matching records I want to represent inside the tabular format, okay, upon loading the page, okay, which is a different page that is called as search results page. So after entering some characters, as soon as when the user click on the search accounts button, now I want to redirect the user to this particular page. I want to redirect the user to this page. Okay. Upon click on the search accounts button, I want to redirect the user to this page. That means search results has to be get visible in the search results page. These are the 2 pages are available right now. Now tell me how can we implement this functionality? Page reference, okay. Page reference, okay. We can redirect the user, then fine. Now here, I will give you 2 cases, 2 scenarios. Let me explain. For example, user has entered some characters, like as some test. Okay, user has entered some characters like as some test. Okay, user has entered some characters test. Upon click on this search account button, I would like to display the account records whose name is starting with the character test. I want to show those account records information inside the search results page. Upon displaying this, here we are having 2 scenarios. First scenario. As soon as after entering these characters, when the user click on the search account button, based on these characters, whatever the records are available, I want to search the records by making an SQL query, collect those records, store inside the collection, and then please redirect the user to this particular page. Along with the redirection, pass that collection also. Okay, observe the scenario here. As soon as when the user click on the search accounts, based on these characters, I would like to search for the records by using SQL query. Those search results I'm storing inside a collection. This collection I'm passing to the target page. Okay, this collection I'm passing to the target page upon redirection. Okay, this is one case. Second case, as soon as when the user click on that search account, I don't want to do any searching mechanism over here. Simply, I will redirect the user to the target page. There I would like to pass this a test character also. Whatever the input characters the user has entered, along with the page redirection, I'm passing these characters also. Now in this target page, based on these characters, I would like to search for the implementation. That means this searching mechanism I would like to implement in this target page here. Nothing but search results page. Now tell me in this case. In the previous case, first case, I'm doing the searching mechanism inside that the source page itself. In the second scenario, I'm doing the searching mechanism in that target page. Now tell me which approach we can use now. Hmm? Hmm. Okay, right. Hmm. Okay, can't we do it in page load? Hmm. Hmm. Number of why number of separators? More number of records are available. Okay. Now see, in this case, suppose if I am going with your approach as a first step, first approach, that means upon click on that search accounts, okay, I want to do the searching mechanism here itself. For example, based on this character test, I'm having 10,000 records available. Okay, I'm having 10,000 records are there whose name is having that character test. That means the query will return how many records to you? 10,000 records. Now, once the 10,000 records are available inside your collection, then I'm redirecting the user from that source page to target page. At that time, I need to pass all the 10,000 records, right? Upon passing the 10,000 records from one page to another page in the form of URL, it will be implementing, it is going to be reducing the network traffic, right? It will be like us giving the more traffic on the network, right? Yes. The two, when you go to that URL cannot able to hold more content. URL will be having the capability to store maximum of 2 KB of content, not more than that. Whatever the URL that we have, that URL can able to hold maximum of 2 KB of content, not more than that. Suppose upon searching the data, if the searching mechanism is returning more number of records, upon passing these many number of records from page 1 to page 2, it is going to be raising some performance issues. Because passing these many number of records from page 1 to page 2, okay, by appending along with that URL, it will be taking more time. Okay, it will be taking more time. It is increasing the network traffic. So for that one, instead of searching the data inside the page 1 itself, I would like to simply pass this value to the target page. In this one, here upon loading the page, I would like to initiate the searching mechanism here. That means what? Inside the search results page, I would like to create a constructor. Okay, now whenever the page is getting loaded, I would like to collect this value from the URL. Based on that value, I would like to initiate the search mechanism. Those results I want to display inside my page upon loading the page inside the tabular format. Okay, clear? Understood the concept here? Okay, two mechanisms are available. We can do the searching mechanism in the page 1 itself, or else you can do the searching mechanism in the page 2 also. Okay, if I'm doing the searching mechanism in the page 1, then if the search results are returning more number of records, it is going to be increasing that more traffic on the network. It will be raising some performance issues. So to avoid this problem, simply as soon as when the user click on the search account button, I don't want to do any searching mechanism. Simply I will redirect the user to the search results page along with the redirection of passing the input characters also whatever the user has entered. There, once I reach to the target page, there I will do the initiation of that. We are going to searching for the record here by using the descriptive queries. Okay, clear? Now, so now let's see how can we implement this one here. Now tell me, how can we redirect this user, okay, from this page to this page? How can we achieve this data here? Query string, right? Now, for example, here I'm going to be writing this query string data here. For example, so whatever the characters that I've entered, these characters are available inside my variable. For example, I'm defining a variable here. This is a variable. Public string, I'm indicating some search text. I'm making it as get and set. Okay, I'm defining a variable. Now this variable I'm mapping with my text box. So whatever the characters we have entered inside this text box, these characters will be storing inside my search text variable. Okay, now upon click on this search account button, I would like to redirect the user. Okay, I'm redirecting the user. How to redirect the user here? Redirecting the user. I'm indicating page reference. PGRef equals to new page reference. Now tell me. Slash apex. Search results page. Then Questing, how? Question mark. Okay. Question mark is representing questing. Okay. Now, what we can specify over here? Just we can indicate a key and the value. Value is available where? Inside my search text values. I'm giving a key over here. Now, yes, text equals to, now we can specify that here. The value I'm indicating plus search text, right? Now, so now, as soon as when the user click on this particular search accounts button, simply I'm going to be redirecting the user to the target page that is called as search results page. Upon redirecting the user to the search results page, I'm going to passing this input characters also. Whatever the characters the user has entered inside my search text box, the data is available inside my search text variable. That value I'm going to be appending along with the URL upon redirection. Okay. Now, clear up to this part? Now. So now whenever I'm going to be redirecting the user to this target page, how this target page URL will look like? How the target page URL will look like now here? How this target page URL will look like? URL will be looking like as https some ap15.salesforce.com/apex search results page. Question mark. Yes, text equals to not search text. Value test. Okay. Now value of the search text, that is test. Now it is available. This is that URL that we have. Now, whenever the page is getting loaded, then I would like to capture this value, because based on this value, I would like to search for the information. So for this one, I'm going to preparing a constructor. Okay, I'm preparing a default constructor. I'm preparing a default constructor. In this default constructor, what we need to do, we need to collect the value of that search text. Okay. Now, how can we collect that value here? How to collect that value from the URL? String search text equals to no apex pages dot current page dot parameters dot get off. What we can specify? Yes, text, right? So now here I'm passing the key. Whenever I'm passing the key to the get method, now it is going to be collecting the value test. Once the characters are available, then here we can able to write that SQL query here. Okay, then you can write that SQL query. SQL query where name like search text. But before writing that SQL query, we need to cross check whether the search text is having some characters or not. Okay, check the null pointer conditions here. And after that, store this data inside a collection. Okay, LST accounts. Store the data inside the collection. Now represent this data inside your Visual Force page in the tabular format. Okay, simple. Clear? Now, for this one, I'm defining this collection over here. Because to store display this collection data in the text Visual Force page, I'm preparing a collection. Public list of account LST accounts with the get and set. Okay, that's it. Simple concept. Understood the concept here? This is the source page. This is the target page which we are implementing here. That's it. Simple. Any difficulty in this one? No, right? Just we have to redirect the user. Upon redirecting the user, we can able to add that parameter values also to the appending to the URL. And then once we are reaching to the target page, then we can able to capture that value upon loading the page by defining a default constructor, and then based on that initiate the search mechanism. And those records we can store inside the collection. That collection data we can represent inside the Visual Force page in the page block table. Okay. Now, so this is the way we are going to be implementing that functionality right now here. Okay. This is the source page. This is the target page code we are implementing right now. Okay. So now let me go with this implementation part, right? Now, first of all, let me design two pages. One is search accounts page. Second one is search results page. Okay. Now, Apex. I'm indicating search account records page. Okay. I'm using that page with the name search account records page. I'm giving the default properties. So now here I have designed, okay, the source page that is called as search accounts page. So this is my page name, search account records page, where I have placed one text box. Inside this text box, the user has to enter some characters. Once the user has entered some characters, upon click on that search accounts button, I want to redirect the user to the target page so that we can display the matching records inside the target page. Okay. Now, clear up to this part? Any difficulty in this one? No, right? Nobody is responding. Up to this part is fine. Okay. Now, so let me write that. Let me design the second page also. I'm indicating that search results page. Now, here I'm indicating that the default properties. Show header equals to true. Tab style equals to, I would like to apply the candidate object tab style. Page block. So now here I have designed one more page in order to represent the search results. Okay. So now both the pages are available with me. I'm having that search account records page I'm having that search results pages also available. Both the pages are available with me. Now tell me what is the next step, what we can do now. Go to that first page. In that first page, what we need to do first? We have to prepare a controller class. In this controller class, what we need to do? We need to define a variable which is of type string, which is used to hold that input character entered by the user. In order to store that such a text, we need a variable which is of type string. So now I'm preparing a controller. Search account records controller. I'm preparing a controller with the name search account records controller. Now tell me, what is the next step? What we need to do? Define a variable, right? I'm defining the variable public string search text. Get set. Next. Okay. For that one, prepare the method public page reference. Go to results page. Then page reference equals to okay, apex results page. That means here what is my page name? Search results page. Okay, I'm placing that search results page. Next, question mark. Yes, text equals to search text. Any more thing? Return pgref dot set redirect of true. Okay, set redirect of true. Now next one, over. Just we have written the business logic, that's it. We haven't mapped still. Now this variable we have to map to which variable, which text box? Such a text box. This is the text box. Then how can we do that? Go to that input text. Go to that properties, value property. Such a text. Okay. That means whatever the value the user has entered inside my text box, I want to store this value inside a such a text variable, so that I'm mapping the connection between these two. So now here in this case, I'm mapping the link between these two by using a property called as value property. That means inside this input text, inside this text box, whatever the input value that you have entered, please store this value inside a variable called as such a text variable. Now, after that, command button, right? Now, action property. Go to results page. What is that method name? Go to results page, right? Okay. Now, next, any more thing? Over? Anything is pending here, or it's over as of now? Over, right? So now here what we did, we have designed this user interface in order to enter that input values based on which the user can search for some content. The user has entered some characters. Now, whatever the characters the user has entered, I would like to catch that value. For that one, I have prepared a controller class. In this controller class, I have defined a variable with the name search text variable here. Now, in order to store these values inside my search text variable, we have mapped the connection between these two with the help of that value property. So once the user has entered some characters like some text, now these characters will be coming into the search text variable automatically by default. So once the values are coming into this variable, then I would like to start initiating the searching mechanism. But that searching mechanism, I don't want to do in the same page. I want to do that searching mechanism in a target page here. So that simply I'm going to be redirecting the user. So that as soon as when the user click on that search accounts button, immediately I'm calling the method go to results page, where I'm redirecting the user to that search results page. Upon redirecting the user, I'm going to be adding some parameters to the URL, okay, by using that query string. So I'm using that query string that is called as question mark is representing as a query string. For this parameter, I'm passing some value. How to pass the value? We have to supply in the form of key and the value pairs. We have to specify the key. I'm indicating the key as text, and then in this text variable, I'm storing the value of the set text. That means whatever the input the user has entered. And then I'm redirecting the user to the target page here. Okay, clear up to this part? Now let's see. Now let's see what will happen in this case. For example, I'm entering some characters, some text. Now click on search accounts button. Upon click on search accounts button, user has been redirected to the search results page. When you observe the search results page, when you go to this URL, observe this URL here, how this URL look like. This is a URL. In this URL, what happened? We are having that page name. Search results page, question mark, yes text equals to the input characters. Whatever the characters we have supplied, those characters are available inside my URL over here. Okay, clear? Now here I have a small question. Suppose, for example, here inside my page, I'm having two more text boxes. One is account number, second one is password or the PIN number. Two text boxes are there. That means the customer bank account number, one text box, PIN number, one more text box. When you click on this search accounts button, these values are also passing to the target page. At that time, whatever the account number, whatever the PIN number is available, these will be getting visible. Okay, these will be getting visible inside the URL, right? If that my PIN number and account number is invisible inside the URL, then what is the security here? How can we do that security process? How to hide? Okay. Okay. Then. Okay, we can go with that encoding format also. But whenever I'm going to be encoding some two characters, it is going to be preparing a lengthy characters inside that. If you're passing that much of content through that URL, it will be okay, increasing the network traffic. Then how? That means what? If I'm giving instead of displaying like a suppose for example, I'm having that PIN number called as some 1234. That is the PIN number, 4-digit PIN number is there. Now, if I'm indicating each and every character like as some hash, then the people can able to use that one. That means 4 digits are available, so they can able to prepare the combination. They can able to decode my PIN number also. There is a chance. There is a possibility here. Then what we can do? It's a common question. It's a common question. Sometimes here, not only two text boxes, I'm having some 50 text boxes are there. When you click on that search results, all these 50 text box characters I want to pass to the second page. Then what we can do in this kind of situation? Do I need to add each and every character along with that URL by using this parameters over here in the form of this query string? First one ampersand, second one ampersand, third one ampersand, like that. Okay, how to pass? Where we can pass? How? Where we can pass that parameter? For example, I'm collecting all the data storing inside a map. My map is ready. How to pass that map? That's what. How to pass that map? How to pass? In this case, whenever we are going to passing some large number of field values from one page to another page, then at that time, don't pass all those values by adding along with the URL. Because in those fields, there may be some important fields may be there, which may be having some sensitive data, some confidential data. I don't want to disclose the data to the people inside the URL. For that reason, I would like to create a third class, a separate class I would like to prepare. In that class, I would like to define some variables. Now, as soon as when the user click on this search accounts button, I will collect all these values. I will be storing inside that class variables automatically here. Okay, I will prepare a third class. Okay, I will prepare a separate class. Okay, yeah, I will prepare a common class, a separate class I would like to prepare. In that class, I would like to prepare the variables. Okay, I would like to prepare the variables. As soon as when the user click on the search accounts button, now whatever the values are there, all these values I'm going to storing inside the class variables here. Okay, instead of passing those values along with that URL, I'm storing all those values inside the class variables. Once, once all the variables has been stored inside this class, then I'm redirecting the user to that second page. As soon as whenever I'm redirecting to the second page here, inside the second page, I would like to collect that class information. I will collect that variable values I can use inside the second page also. That means what? I'm introducing a mediator class. Okay, I'm introducing a mediator class. For example, here I'm having some more number of fields are available here. Okay, if I'm having some more number of fields are available, where whose values you would like to supply. Okay, whose values you would like to supply. So in this case, I'm preparing a class. I'm preparing a class. I'm preparing a common class here, which is called as some common helper. Common helper class. Now, inside this class, I would like to define the variables. I'm defining the variables here, like as customer code, customer name, and the pin number, and the password, and then address, and the card details, nothing but the card number, all this information. I'm having a separate class. In this class, I'm defining the variables here. Now, as soon as when the user click on this button control, whatever the values the user has entered inside these text boxes, all these values I would like to store inside these variables here. Okay, all these values I would like to store inside this variable. That means I would like to refer this class inside my page one. I'm going to be assigning this text box values to my variables. So now once the values have been getting stored inside these variables, then as soon as whenever I'm reaching to the target page, now here what I want to do is I would like to collect these variable values. I would like to collect these variable values inside my Visual First page here. Okay, clear? Whenever we are having some more number of fields are available, whose values you would like to supply from one page to another page, adding all those values along with the URL is very, very difficult. For that reason, we are going to be using a third class, nothing but a common class here. So in that class, we can define the variables here. Depends upon the number of text boxes we have, define those many number of variables. So now, as soon as whenever the user has entered some values, okay, please store all those values inside these variables. Okay, please store all these values inside these variables here. Once these values has been getting stored inside these variables, then whenever I'm reaching to the target page, that means upon click on the search account button, don't pass any value. Simply redirect the user to that from search accounts page to search results page. Just directly redirect the user. Don't add any parameters here. As soon as whenever you are reaching to the search results page, inside this page, access this class information, get each and every field value, use inside this one in order to represent the data here. Okay, for that reason, whenever I'm having some large sets of data, it may be a single field, maybe collection also. At that time, we are using the help of a common class. So in this common class, we're attaching the value from here, we're retrieving the value from here. Okay, so that the same class you can use in the multiple classes wherever you want. That facility is available. Okay, clear? Now, like the similar way here also. For example, here you are collecting the data over here. Okay, you are collecting the data. Okay, I'm collecting this data here. Whatever the characters that have entered inside my text box, now this data I'm going to be storing inside my variable here. Upon click on the button control, what I want to do, I want to pass this value to my target page. For that one, if you want to store inside a class, then define a class over here. Okay, define a separate class, define a variable. For example, I'm defining a class called as a common helper class here. In that common helper class, I'm storing that, I'm defining a variable search text. In this one, I'm passing that search text variable value here. That's it. That means whatever the value that we are supplied, what that were collected from this text box, this value I'm storing inside the search text variable of my common helper class here. There, when you go to the target page, there you can access this variable value. We can use it here. Okay, clear now. So we have to define a separate class with the name common helper. Define the variable over here. In that variable, store this value. That's it. Okay, so that this class we can access from the another place also. So, but the user doesn't know which class I'm referencing internally, where I'm storing the values. User doesn't know all these things, so that in the URL also nothing will be available to you. Okay. Already it's a three-tier architecture over here. Yes, because some common helper classes we need to use in some situations. Okay, instead of passing all the values to the URL, we can able to pass internally also here, because there is some confidential data maybe there which I don't want to expose in the URL. Okay. Clear? Because in the entry point of view, if there is any type of question, you should be able to answer. Okay. Next one. For example, I'm entering some characters, like some test. Once you click on this search accounts, now I'm reaching to the search results page. Now here, tell me how can we write this code? When you observe this URL on top of this page, I'm receiving the input characters here. Okay, yes, text equals to the test. What are the characters that have entered inside the text box? Those characters are available in my target page inside this URL. Okay, if it is a normal values, you can expose, no problem. But if it is some bank account number, PIN number, users passwords, at that time there are some confidential information is there which I can't expose inside the URL, because other people might be misutilizing the data also. For that reason, I don't want to expose the data inside the URL. For that one, I'm using the help of some third classes also. Okay. Now come to this one. How can we implement this one now? How to get this data? How can we represent inside my page black table here? Now tell me. How to write this code? Search the results page. Prepare the controller, right? Controller, I'm indicating search results controller. I'm preparing a controller class. Now, what needs to be done in this case first? Okay. Then what we can do? Then define a variable. Why? What are the input value we have received inside the URL? We need to collect that value. Based on that, we have to initiate that searching mechanism here. So when you want to do that one, upon loading the page itself, upon loading the page, if you want to do any operation, we are using that constructor. Okay, but in this case here, what kind of operation I'm doing? SQL query. If it is a DML operation, can I use constructor? No, because constructor doesn't allow any DML operation, so we can't use that. But in this case, just I'm initiating the searching mechanism by using SQL query. So SQL queries can be acceptable inside the constructor. That's what I'm using a constructor. I'm defining the constructor. Public search results controller. I'm using this constructor. Inside this constructor, I would like to use that variable string. Now search a text. Search a text equals to, I'm going to be collecting the data from the URL. How can we collect? Apex pages dot current page dot parameters dot get. What is that parameter name? Yes, text. Now let's save this one. Now, so now this method name is get parameters. Get parameters dot get. Okay. Now just make a note of this change here. Okay. Instead of these parameters, we have to use get parameters. I'm collecting all the parameters, and from that I'm getting the specific parameter based on the key. Now, get parameters dot get of text. That means here I'm passing the key Based on the key, whatever the value is available, that value will be collecting from the parameters, and then that value will be storing inside my search text variable. Now I'm searching for the data here. If same story, no change. If s text not equals to null and the search text not equals to empty, I want to search for the data. In this case, I would like to use that like operator. For that one, what we need to do? Search text plus equals to percentage. That means I'm fetching the similar kind of information. To get that similar kind of information, we have to add that percentage symbol. Now, I'm searching the data. Select ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue, active status, phone, fax, website, customer priority from account. Name like search text. I want to arrange those records in the alphabetical order. Order by name. Okay, now. So now this data I want to display where inside my Visual Force page. For that one, I'm defining a collection in the class level. I'm preparing a collection. List of account. Here I'm going to preparing the collection object. New list of account. Next. We are storing the data inside this. Okay, I'm saving this information. So that means what we did over here, whenever the page is getting loaded, I'm collecting the URL parameter value. Whenever the page is getting loaded, it is going to be invoking the default constructor. The constructor will be getting invoked. It will go to my page, Visual Force pages. From the Visual Force pages, it will refer the current page. In this current page, whatever the parameters are available along with the URL, it will collect all the parameters. From those parameters, it is collecting the value of the parameter which is having the key as text. So now based on that key, it will be collecting the value. The value will be storing inside the variable called as search text variable. Once the data is available, then I'm verifying whether these characters are not null and not empty. Then I'm initiating the searching mechanism by using SQL query, and then those results I'm storing inside a collection. This collection data I'm exposing to my Visual Force page by making it as get and set. Okay, clear? Now, next one. So now here in this case, inside my Visual Force page now, I need to represent the records information in the tabular format. So I'm using that page block table. Page block table, I'm indicating the value property, value equals to LST accounts, var equals to ACC. I'm indicating the column tag. Apex column value equals to ACC dot rating value. Apex column value equals to ACC dot industry. Apex column value equals to ACC dot annual revenue. Apex column value equals to ACC dot type. Apex column value equals to ACC dot phone. Apex column value equals to ACC dot fax. Apex column value equals to ACC dot active status. Okay. Now I want to show that name column also in the form of hyperlink. So I'm indicating that header value, account name. I'm indicating that. How can we represent that column name inside that hyperlink? Output link. Output link, I'm representing that account record name. SEC dot name. Now, after that, value property. Value equals to slash ACC dot ID. Next, target property equals to target equals to underscore blank. Okay. Now, so along with that, I want to show that collection size also. LST accounts dot size. Okay. Clear? Now, anything else here? No button controls, nothing. So whenever the page is getting loaded, automatically constructor will get called. It will collect the data from the database and store inside the collection. Now that collection data I'm representing inside my Visual Force page by using the page block table tag here. Okay, all the columns information we represent. Okay, clear? So let me go back over here. Let me go back to my previous page. So this is my search page over here. I'm having this search page right now. I'm entering some characters, some event. Okay, I'm entering some characters, some event. Click on search accounts. Now we can redirect the user to the target page. Now, yes, subject query was retrieved. Okay, so we are not querying this particular field type. Let's go to that results page. Because here I'm representing the type column also, but I haven't queried this type column inside this query. Sorry? Website also. Because here I'm not displaying all the columns. I'm querying that customer priority also, but I'm not representing here. Whatever the columns you want, we can display that. But upon displaying this column, these columns data compulsorily we have to mention inside this the query. Okay. So now here I'm collecting the data now. I'm passing some characters UN. As soon as once you click on this search accounts, we can go to the search results page. There we can able to see that 4 records. Whatever the accounts are available, whose name is starting with the character some UN, we can fetch those records. Now the records information will be getting visible to you, where record name will be getting visible in the form of a hyperlink. Once you click on this record name, that record will be getting visible to you automatically by default. We can able to see that record information. Okay. Now, for example, I'm going back to the previous page. I'm searching for the information. I'm searching for the information like as some GE, a single character also, whatever. Click on search accounts. Now we can able to see that search results also. 2 records are available, which are matching with the character GE. So G based on the character G, these are the 2 records are matching available. We can able to see those records information. Click on this Gini point record, we can see that record information also. Okay. It won't allow minimum 2 characters. That is the limitation here. Because if you put a single character here, the more number of records may be available, so that it is expecting minimum 2 characters. In normal SO keyboard, we can go with that single character also. Where limit? Limit in the sense what number of records to be returned is limitation is available. Okay, number of records returning will be the limitation is available, because the total SO keyboard queries limit number of records will be 2000. Suppose if it is returning more number of records from a single object itself, in the remaining objects it won't search. For that one, we are giving the limitation. Okay. Now here we can display the error message. Suppose, for example, as soon as when the user has click on this one, as soon as once the user has click on this particular search accounts button, suppose if the user has entered one character, simply When the user click on that search accounts button, we can able to give the message. We can show the message over here by using that apex pages dot add messages. Okay, we can show that. So please enter the two characters here. When we have to count inside this particular string variable, how many number of characters are available. So now as part of string, we are having so many methods are available here. Number of characters method, count method, length method, everything is available. When you go to that string, you will be having that method. String dot length method. The string dot length method. That means, for example, my variable is what? Such a text variable. Such a text dot length. So now length indicates what? Now the length method is going to be returning how many number of characters are available in that string variable here. Suppose here if it is greater than 2, okay, greater than 1, then please allow here. Suppose if it is less than 1, less than or equals to 1, then I want to show the message, please enter minimum 2 characters. You can display that error message by using that the page messages tag on your Visual First page. Okay, clear? Please add this enhancement, and then along with that one more enhancement I want. So now, for example, sometimes the user will be having that normal the search text box is available. User did not enter anything over here. Directly has click on that search accounts. Directly he click on that search accounts here. Then what we can do in this case? I want to show some message to the user over here. Please enter the search text. Okay, please enter the search text. I don't want to search for the content based on that null characters. For that reason, here I would like to give some message to the user. Please enter that search text so that I can initiate the searching mechanism. Okay. As soon as when the user click on that search accounts button, I want to verify whether these characters are null or not. If it is null, I want to display some error message here. Okay. Please add this enhancement for this application today. Hmm. Hmm. JavaScript. JavaScript. Hmm. This is not input field, right? It's an input text. It's input text box. Okay. JavaScript we have to use. Wherever we go in the entire user interfaces, if you want to do client-side validation, JavaScript in maybe any programming. Okay.
What makes it exception is I'm giving a some input, for example, I'm giving a some character TX. On that basis, they will give the result. So in that result, if 6 records will appear, in that 2 record is not based on the TX. It's something different. It's a different data. How it is going that?
Different in the sense. Okay.
It's record just like it AI and something, and it there is a record is also that. Only name is in there, but it is also not a AI. It's a AI or something.
Okay.
So how it is?
Because Salesforce is going to be searching in all the columns. As part of SYSL, not only in a specific column, we are indicating please search in all fields. It will be searching in all the columns here, not only searching in the name. Hmm. All the columns, wherever in any of the column, if the DI characters are available, it will be picking up that record. Any position, it may be starting, middle, last also. Any position to pick up that. Any column, anywhere that character here. That record will not return to you. Where? Okay. So might be here you are having some other columns are available there, the data is available. Please check that whole record. Somewhere that characters will be available to you. Okay. Okay. Clear? Just to define a class. Define a custom class. In that class, define a variable. And then pass this value to that class variable. That's it. In the second class, nothing but the second controller, use that class directly here. Class name dot variable name. Directly we can fetch. Clear up to this one? Still any questions in correcting part? No. So let me take this use case. Design a Visual Force page to search for the account records based on the user input. Represent the search results. Represent the search results. Represent the search results in a search results page. Represent the search results in a search results page. Display the record name in hyperlink format. In hyperlink format. Redirect the user to the detail page of the record upon click on the record. Upon click on the record. Okay. Because here, as part of SOSL, they have defined a search engine to be used to search based on multiple characters. If it is a single character, this will be appear in all the character, all the records maybe almost. Suppose, for example, I'm giving a character A. That character may be available in almost all the records. At that time, if I'm returning all the records, there is no concept of searching mechanism. So at least minimum 2 characters are required here. No, it's not the drawback here. Because here it's an advantage to reduce that, to initiate the searching mechanism very fastly. Okay. People are ready for photo shoot. Let me place the code first. Then you can take the photo. Okay. Since yesterday I have stopped placing that videos into your drive, okay, because we are having all the information. Done? Okay. Done? Now, the next concept. The next feature is pagination. So as part of Visual Force, we are having few more features are left. Okay, like we are having the pagination, and then we have wrapper class, and next we have which is sharing versus without sharing, and then we are having the feature of action controls. So as part of this action controls, we are having 5 action controls. These are nothing but the Ajax controls. These are nothing but the Ajax controls given by Salesforce. Like as we are having action polar, action function, action status, action support, action region. So these are few concepts are available, okay, which are left as part of this Visual Force. That will be the next one. That will be the next one. After this one, we'll go with the JavaScript and the CSS part. That is also we'll see as part of this one. Because the course is not yet over, we have some more features. The most important features are there, triggers are there, asynchronous programming, test classes, deployments, all these things are there. Okay. They will be discussing that editors also at the last. Okay, how can we use the editors also upon writing the code to maintain a local copy? This is also part of this one. We'll see. Now, the next one is pagination. Now, so tell me what exactly the pagination and what is the use? Presenting the data in different pages in the sense. Splitting the data into various pages. Okay. Now, then why do we need to split the data to the multiple pages? Why? How many records we can load? 100. Query will return 50,000 right then. Okay, how many records we can load? How many records we can display on a Visual Force page at a time? 1,000, right? That already told you, okay, during the page tag properties concept. Okay, page tag properties. So that already we have discussed as part of page tag properties. A Visual Force page can able to have the capability to show maximum of 1,000 records. We are collecting the data from the database. It may be all the records also, or we are searching for some information also based on some search text. Upon fetching the data by using SQL query, SQL query is having the capability to return maximum of 50,000 records to you. Okay, SQL query is having the capability to return maximum of 50,000 records to you. So whenever you are trying to be loading or displaying all these 50,000 records from the SQL query to your Visual Force page is not having the capability to show all the records at a time. Okay, Visual Force page is not having the capability to show all the records at a time. It can able to display maximum of 1,000 records. Visual Force page can able to show maximum of 5,000 records at a time. Okay, at a time, it can able to show maximum of 1,000 records. Suppose, for example, if my query is returning some 1,500 records, if my query has returned 1,500 record, which has been stored inside my collection, now I am binding this collection to my page block table. To represent those 1,500 records inside my Visual Force page, at that time it will be giving the error message to you. So now the page number of records count has been exceeds. We can't show more than 1,000 records inside the Visual Force page. Then at that time, what we can do? Don't we have any other alternative? I'm having 2,000 records I want to show. For the to display 2,000 records, do we need to go with pagination? Don't we have any other alternative mechanisms? Read-only property, right? So in this case, instead of utilizing the pagination facility, so now inside your page tag, we have a property called as read-only property. We can specify the read-only property equals to true. Whenever I'm making this read-only property equals to true, then it will be giving the extension of the capability to your Visual Force page. How many records we can show by using read-only property true? 10,000 records. Now, whenever I'm going to be using the read-only property equals to true, then read-only property will be giving that more capability to the Visual Force page, that my page can show maximum of 10,000 records. Not only 1,000, it can able to show maximum of 10,000 records. It can able to represent on the Visual Force page. But there is a problem with this read-only property. So what is the drawback with this property? We can't edit. Not only edit, we can't perform even in any DML statement also. That means what? Whenever I'm using the read-only property equals to true, that complete page will be moving to the read-only state. We can't perform any DML operations on that page. We can't insert any records. We can't update, delete, undelete, insert, merge. All these DML operations will be getting prevented. Whenever I'm making that Visual Force page read-only property equals to true, it is raising a side effect that it is making the DML statements will be getting prevented from my Visual Force page. On that page, we can't perform any DML operations. Okay. Now, it will prevent the DML operations on the page. Okay, it will prevent the DML operations on the page. We can't perform any DML operations on this page. Simply, we can show the records like as a read-only format. That's it. Now, in this case here, suppose for example, I'm having 15,000 records are available. How can we show? Now, the read-only property will be giving the ability to you to show maximum of 10,000 records, but I'm having more than 10,000 records. Then what we can do? I'm having 20,000 records, 30,000 records, 50,000 records, 1 lakh records, 2 lakhs records, 10 lakhs records. How can we show? At that time, we can go with a feature called as pagination. Whenever if you're having more number of records, more than 10,000 records, then we can go with a feature called as pagination. By using pagination, what we can do? What is the functionality of this pagination facility here? We can divide, not page, records. We are dividing the records into what? Various small pages. Okay, pages. Like for example, assume that I'm having a database object. I'm having an object here. So this is my account object. In my account object, I'm having 2 lakhs records are available. I'm having 2 lakhs records. I want to display all these 2 lakhs records inside my Visual Force page. But Visual Force page is not giving any capability to show 2 lakhs records at it. Because whenever I'm trying to be getting this data from this object, now generally we are using SQL queries. SQL queries having the capability to fetch maximum of 50,000 records, not more than that. But I'm having 2 lakhs records. How can we collect? How to get more than 50,000 records from the table? No. Forget about data loader. I want this programming part. I told you during SQL queries concept, not triggers. During the SQL queries concept, I told you one small method inside the database class. Batch concept is separate. It's a separate interface. Batchable is a separate interface. Database dot query method will return what 50,000 records only. Normal static SQL query or database dot query method both are same. In this case, if you want to get more number of records from that object, we are using a method called as database dot get query locator method. Okay, database dot get query locator method. In this get query locator method, we are specifying your SQL query. Okay, we are specifying your SQL query. So whatever the SQL query that we have specified, now this database dot get query locator method will be executing this SQL query. Okay, it will be executing this SQL query, and then it will be fetching the records up to maximum of 50 million records. Okay, database dot query method is having the capability to return maximum of 50,000 records only. Database dot query locator method is having the capability to return maximum of 50 million records. That means up to 5 crore records it will be returning to you here. Okay, 5 crore records it will return to you. So now in this case, by using this database dot get query locator method, we can able to fetch all those 2 lakhs records. But all the 2 lakhs records I can't represent on my Visual Force page at a time. Okay, whatever the 2 lakhs records are available, all those 2 lakhs records I can't represent on my Visual Force page at a time, because Visual Force page is not having that much of capability. Even though if I am making this read-only property equals to true, it will be able to show maximum of 10,000 records, not more than that. But I want to show more number of records. At that time, we are using the help of pagination feature. Okay, for that reason, we are using the help of pagination feature. We can use that pagination feature. By using this pagination feature, what we can do, we are going to be collecting the data from the object up to 50 million. Okay, up to 50 million, we can able to collect all the records information. We can collect all the record information from that object up to 50 million with the help of database dot get query locator method. Once the records has been getting collected, okay, once the records has been getting collected, then I would like to place all these records inside the temporary memory. Whatever the records are available, all these records I would like to place inside the temporary memory here. Okay, whatever the records has been written by my SQL query, all these records I would like to place inside my temporary memory here. So I would like to have some temporary memory. I'm having some temporary memory. I'm having some temporary memory. In this temporary memory, I would like to place all these records. So whatever the records we have queried, by using the database dot get query locator method, those records we can able to collect. Because if it is a 50 million record, 50 million records cannot be accommodatable inside a collection. Why? Because if it is returning more number of records will be storing inside the collection, but ultimately collection will go into the view state. View state size is very, very limited up to 135 KB, not more than that. So when I try to hold more information inside that view state, it will be raising that view state exception. For that one, it won't store the data inside that collection. For that one, it is storing this data inside the temporary memory. Whatever the records has been returned as the result through this database that query locator method, those records will be storing inside the temporary memory. So if it is a temporary memory, we can able to hold more information. Once the data is available inside the temporary memory, now I would like to divide this data to the various small pieces called as pages, that each page the record we can represent inside my Visual Force page. Then how can we do this one? How can we split this data to the various small pieces? How can we represent the data inside my Visual Force page? For that one, we are using the help of a class called as standard set controller class. Okay, we are using the help of a class called as standard set controller class. Okay, standard set controller is a standard class which has been given by Salesforce, which will be having all the facilities of pagination. Okay, in order to achieve the pagination, whatever the features are required, all the features are available inside the standard set controller class. Okay, now, so when coming to the standard set controller class, what it will do, standard set controller class is going to be interacting with this temporary memory here. Okay, it is interacting with the temporary memory. So now in this case here, now whatever the records are available inside the temporary memory, now this temporary memory address we are going to passing to the standard set controller class. I'm having this a standard set controller class right now. I'm having this a standard set controller class. Standard set controller is a single word. Okay, it's a class. Standard set controller class will be holding all the facilities to achieve the pagination. In the entry point of, if anybody asks how you are implementing the pagination in Visual Force, say confidently with the help of standard set controller class. Now in this case, as soon as whenever the records have been getting collected, all the records have been placed inside the temporary memory. Okay, all these records has been placed inside the temporary memory. Now this temporary memory address we are going to be passing to the standard set controller class. Whatever the temporary memory address is available, the temporary memory address will be passing to the standard set controller class. As soon as whenever the address has been getting supplied, okay, as soon as whenever the address has been supplied, now the standard set controller class will be entering into that the temporary memory. Whatever the records are available inside this temporary memory, all those records will be dividing into the various small pieces called as pages. Okay, now the standard set controller class is going to be dividing the whole records into the various small pieces called as pages. Now, so whatever the records are available inside my temporary memory, all these records will be dividing into the various small pieces called as pages. The records will be dividing into the various pages here. So now how it is dividing the records to the various pages based on the page size. Okay, based on the page size, it is going to be dividing the records to the various small pages. That page size we can able to indicate depends upon your requirement. Depends upon your requirement, we can indicate the page size. That means how many number of records you want to show per page. Okay, how many number of records you want to show per page, we can indicate that page size here. Okay, so now in this case, in order to indicate that page size, we are going to be using that method. We are using a method called as set page size method. Set page size method, which is used to indicate how many number of records you want to display per page. We can indicate that number of records to be get visible per page here. We'll see each and every method of that standard set controller class one by one. Okay, now, so whatever the records are available inside the temporary memory, all these records will be dividing into the various small pieces called as pages. For example, these are the pages are available over here. So this is the page one. Each and every page will be identifying by using the index position which is starting from 1. Okay, generally arrays or elements index positions will be starting from 0, but the page index will be always starting from 1. This is the first page, page 1, page 2, page 3, this is the page 4, This is the page 5, and this is the page 6. Like that here, it will dividing the whole records into the various small pieces called as pages. So now, once the records has been divided into the various small pieces called as pages, then these page records we can able to represent inside your Visual Force page. So then we can able to design your own Visual Force page also. In this Visual Force page, we can able to show those records in the tabular format. Okay, we can represent these records in the tabular format here. Whatever the records that you want, those records you can able to represent inside the tabular format. Okay, so we can able to represent the records in that Visual Force page in the tabular format. We can represent the records in the Visual Force page in the tabular format. So now whenever we are going to be representing the records in that Visual Force page in the tabular format, the user will be having the capability to navigate the record from first to last, last to first. That means the page 1 to page 6, page 6 to page 1. Keep on we can navigate here. For that one, we can able to have the hyperlinks, nothing but that command links also we can able to place. We can able to place that button controls also here. So now we can able to specify the first page, nothing but the first button, previous button, next button, last button. So these are the buttons we can able to place inside this here. Depends upon our requirement, we can able to place those button controls also. Okay, we can able to place those button controls also inside your application. Depends upon your business requirement. We can able to place those button controls also. For example, instead of using this one, I would like to use the first, previous, next, last. Now, so these are that navigation buttons we can able to place inside that. So that keep on we can able to use this standard set controller class. No need to go to the database here. We can no need to go to the database. Just we can able to connect to the standard set controller class. We can connect to the standard set controller class and we can able to get the data from here. We can connect to the standard set controller class. From there, we can able to represent the data inside that Visual Force page. Like as show accounts page. Okay. So in this case here, what we can do, whenever we are going to be representing more number of records inside the Visual Force page don't allow. Because Visual Force page is having the capability to show maximum of 1000 records at a time. When you try to display more number of records, it will be giving the exception message. To avoid those exceptions, we are going to be using the read-only property equals to true, which will be enhancing the facility to the Visual Force page to extend to display the maximum of 10,000 records. So now whenever I'm making the read-only property equals to true inside that page tab, in this case, it will allow me to display maximum of 10,000 records on that Visual Force page, but it is preventing me to perform all the DML operations on that Visual Force page. So in this case, if you want to show more number of records on your Visual Force page, then we have to use a feature called as pagination. That means instead of representing all the records at a time, on that Visual Force page, we can split them to the various small pieces called as pages. That each piece is called as a page, that each page will be holding some specific number of records. It may be 5 records, 2 records, 4 records, 10 records, 50 records, that we can decide depends upon your requirement. We can decide that page size. Based on that page size, we can able to split the record to the various small pieces. For that one, we are going to be using the help of standard set controller class. Then what we need to do, we need to collect all the data from that object by making an SQL query with the help of a method called as get query locator method. Because if I am using that normal query method, it will return up to 50,000 records only, but I want to show more number of records, okay, in my Visual Force page with the help of pagination facility. So that we are using the help of get query locator method, which is having the capability to return maximum of 50 billion records. But generally, whenever I am using that normal query, the records will be returning in the form of a list collection. But when you try to use this get query locator method, it won't return the records in the form of a list collection, because list collection is not having the capability to store up to 50 million records. So that it will collect all the records from that object. Those records are placing inside the temporary memory. The temporary memory starting address we are passing to the standard set controller class. Once I'm passing that starting memory address to the standard set controller class, now it is entering into that memory location. It will split this whole records into various small pieces called as pages based on the page size. Now, once the records has been getting divided into the various small pieces called as pages, that each page records we can able to represent inside your Visual Force page by using that navigation buttons, so that the user can navigate from first page to last page, or last page to first page also. Vice versa, we can navigate with the help of that navigation buttons, and we can able to represent the records on our Visual Force page itself. For that one, to achieve this entire pagination functionality, we are using a class called as standard set controller class. Standard set controller is a standard class which has been given by Salesforce, which contains all the ready-made methods. Okay, which contains all the ready-made methods which is used to achieve the pagination facility. In order to implement the pagination inside your Visual Force page, whatever the methods are required, whatever the features are required, all the features are inbuilt available inside that standard set controller class. Now we are going to be using this standard set controller class in order to achieve the pagination inside your Visual Force page. So as part of the standard set controller class, we are having so many methods are available. So we should be aware of each and every method which is available inside the standard set controller class, which we can use to achieve the pagination facility inside that. Okay, clear? Now, so what are the various methods are available as part of this standard set controller class? We'll see in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll see standard set controller class and methods, and then along with that, we are going to be utilizing that methods and how to achieve the pagination. We'll see practically. And after that, we are going to be discussing about one more feature that is called as wrapper class. Wrapper class is a bit lengthy topic here. It will be taking minimum 2 hours. Now for that one, so tomorrow we'll be having a long session. Okay, so we'll be having the session tomorrow till 1:30. Okay, tomorrow till 1:30 we'll be having the session, and then we'll be having that concept of pagination and wrapper class. Wrapper class concept is a bit typical topic also. Okay, it will be looking like as a bit confusing topic also. Okay, that will be very most important feature. Okay, mandatorily you will be having the question on this wrapper class in the interview point of view. Definitely will be having this feature in every project here. Okay, it's a common question, it's a common implementation also. Tomorrow we'll see that concept. Okay, but do the practice and the examples whatever we have discussed in the class. Okay, don't make the things pending.